I'm going to say that there are X groups of 2, there are Y groups of 6, and Z groups of 10. So the aim is to show that Y is equal to 0 in this question. Let's work out the mean size of a group then in terms of X, Y, and Z. So if there are X groups of 2, then that means there are 2X people in these groups. Actually, let me just write that. This mean size of groups is going to equal the total number of people divided by the total number of groups. Okay, so there are X groups of 2, and therefore there are 2X people in those groups. And there's 6Y people in the Y groups of 6, and then 10Z. That's the total number of people. If I divide by the total number of groups, it's going to be X plus Y plus Z, and that is going to equal 5. So I've created an equation that relates X, Y, and Z together. I can multiply through, so 2X plus 6Y plus 10Z is going to equal 5X plus 5Y plus 5Z. And therefore, Y plus 5Z is going to equal 3X. I've minus 2X from both sides, and then I've minus 5Y and 5Z from both sides. I've just kept everything positive. Let's just put a box around that. That is going to potentially be, well, it's going to be useful at some point. Let's take a look at the other piece of information that we're given. And that was when each person is asked how many other people are in their group, excluding themselves, then the mean of their answers is 7. So we need to find out, we need to, like every single person was asked, and we need to find out all of the numbers that they said and then add them together. So if we first look up the 2X people in the groups of 2, they're all going to say 1. So basically we're going to add 1 together, lots of 1's together, 2X times. It's going to be 2X times 1. And then the 6Y people were all asked, and they're each going to say 5. There are 5 others in their group, so we're going to add 6Y, lots of 5 together. And then it's going to be 10Z. Each of these is going to say 9. So we're going to add 10Z, lots of 9 together. Let me just do a little numerical example for this particular bit. So let's say we had, I don't know, 7 groups of 10. Then each of these people would say 9, but there's 7 groups of 10, so 70 of them are saying 9. So the total that they would say, like if you added them all up, would be 70 times 9. And that's what I've done here. Okay, every single person has been asked and they've all given an answer. This time we actually need to divide by the total number of people, which is simply 2X plus 6Y plus 10Z. Okay, not the number of groups, but the number of people, and that is going to equal 7. Okay, that is probably the trickiest bit of this question, to get your head around it and write that down. Because now we're back to just, trying to rearrange this equation. I've got 2X plus 30Y plus 90Z, and then I'm going to times 7 through by 7. I've just noticed actually that there's a common factor of 2, so do you know what? It might just be easiest at this point to divide through by 2. So X, I'll do it in a different color, X plus, this was 30, it's going to be 15Y plus 45Z divided by X plus 3Y plus 5Z is going to equal 7. Okay, look, that step is not essential, but we're going to have to divide through by 2 at some point, so might as well do it now. Therefore, X plus 15Y plus 45Z is going to equal 7X plus 21Y plus 35Z. And that is going to give me 10z is equal to 6y. Sorry, I'm just, what have I done? Yeah, 6y plus 6x. Don't know why I didn't do the x first. And therefore, now we can divide by 2 again. 5z is equal to 3x plus 3y. Okay, so I've got this equation. Don't forget I've got this other equation. Y plus 5z is equal to 3x. Let's write it down again, I think. Y plus 5z is equal to 3x. All right, so how can I deal with this? I can try and combine them, and I want to show that y is 0. So we've actually got, we can go with 5z is equal to 3x minus y. Make 5z the subject because I've got it the subject here as well. So therefore, 3x plus 3y must equal 3x minus y. The 3x's cancel, therefore 4y is going to equal 0, and therefore y is equal to 0. There must be no groups of 6. I like it. I like this question, how we had to construct these equations. Once you realize how to do that, it's actually not too bad. You just have to kind of solve them simultaneously, but if you can spot that you just get 5z for both, then it nicely works itself out. Well done.